Live from Garry O'Neal Studios in Baltimore.
You're listening to the See.Plan.Do Show with Garry O'Neal.
All right, here you go. DJ.
What's up, everybody? What's up? Happy Pod Day! Yeah! Woo! What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome to the See.Plan.Do Show with me, professional mindset coach, business coach, consultant, entrepreneur, whatever you need me to be in that moment, Mr. Garry O'Neal Jr. And as always, shout out to Pops. And we have another Power Pack podcast here on the show. To Sabes Las Vibras. You know the vibes. All right. So today on this episode 149. Hey, look at that. We about to hit 150, y'all. Episode 149, turning your ideas into a paycheck. If you have had ideas up here, if you have been thinking about, hey, I want to make more money, I need to double, triple, quadruple my money, I have all these ideas and I need to make more money, this episode was for you. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to be going over today. I thought about this little segment I'm going to do for our moment of the week, which is called I Got a Story to Tell. So I got a story to tell. The one time that I got chased by a dog, and I think you guys will find that funny. Our appetizer. Let's talk about credit. All right. So credit. I'm going to be going over a couple of ways you can increase. You can boost that credit, and then we'll get to our entree of the evening, where I'm going to go over how you can take those ideas that are in your head. And now you can start making money from it. All right. Because here's what I want you to do real quick. Wherever you are, whenever you are, if you're not driving, I want you to just take one moment and just close your eyes and imagine that an idea that you had in your head, someone else did, oh, you're going to be hot. So let's stop with it's up here. Let's bring it down and let's make it fruitful. Okay. All right. So can I get to my shout outs? Of course I can. My day one A1 listeners, listen, man. This is 149 episodes more if you count when I did the radio show, but 149 straight episodes when I was taking a break, all those wonderful things. So if you've been around when I was selling cups and shirts and, all these wonderful things, thank you. My first time listeners, if this is your first time listening or watching, thank you. Thank you so much, as well as any motivators, educators, and people who look to be inspired, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever timeline this is for you, whenever you saw this, however big the algorithm brought you to me and me to you. Thank you. You could have literally been anywhere in the world, baby, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. So let's get to our See.Plan.Do moment of the week. And again, like I said, you know what? Let me put something else together, man. Let me see how it works, because I thought what made me think about it was I was watching a TikTok and the girl was ready to start dancing. And next thing like she runs and like a dog, like just comes running after her. I was like, damn, I remember that time, So right after a brief word from our sponsor, I'll share a somewhat embarrassing moment with me, and we'll be talking about I Got a Story to Tell. So right after a brief word, we'll get to it.
Are you looking to get certified in CPR, first aid, or other life-saving skills? Heart Savers Maryland is your premier CPR training facility. Individual and classroom sessions available. Schedule your training at heartsaversmd.com. Each second counts. Get trained today.
Right, if you need CPR training, please give it the best, if I do say so myself. All right, so I got a story to tell. All right, so a while back in high school, our school gym was being renovated, okay? And so the gym was being renovated, so we had to go to look at that. The school was being renovated, and we had to go to a recreational center to play basketball, right? So to practice. So heading down there, it wasn't that far away, right? So we get there, everything's cool. It's time to leave. So now, with it being time to leave, I'm walking with one of the guys I played with, right? We're walking up the street. Now, now keep in mind, I'm like, what, 15, 16 at this point, 17 maybe. All right. So we're walking up the street. I'm talking, prepping me to be a person that does podcasting. So we're talking, we're walking, and all of a sudden, I'm looking up the street and I see a pit bull. Now, to put in context, I love pit bulls, but there was a time where pit bulls were ferocious and people were getting bit and attacked. And this was during that freaking time. So I tell the guy, like, hey, I see the dog. The dog is having his head down. He is walking across. He's going up the street. He's not even looking at me and him. He doesn't even see us, guys. Next thing you freaking know, man, this dude, I say, just chill. He don't even see us. He get to shaking and Harlem shaking. Man, I'm like, just chill. He like, no, man, and starts running. Freaking running the other way, yelling. The dog is almost out of view. He stops, looks at us, and once he's perked his ears up, he now started running, and all I remember is me saying, oh shit, and now I'm running. Now, there's not that many, it's a small street, right? I'm running for my life at this point. In panic mode, I say, where can I run? Back into the recreation center. Now, at this point, everybody's practicing, right? Everybody's practicing. I run into the gym, into the recreation center. They're playing a game. Man, fuck that game. I run in the middle. People are like, Garry, what are you doing? Then the dog, on cue, slides in, and is in the center of the goddamn court. Now you have 15 to 20 young athletes screaming. I've already felt the terror, so I was already good. Now everybody's all everybody's all mashed up against the damn door. I hit the exit. I'm out. I'm good. Crisis averted. And then, my friends, something said, go back and check on homeboy that I was walking with. So if you ever saw the movie Interstellar, and in the movie where Matthew McConaughey is banging on the door like, no, that was me. An older me looking at a younger me walking back looking for my homeboy. I turn the corner, and what do I freaking see? Yes, the dog is right there. One of the coaches is trying to feed this person the goddamn pickles. He's feeding him a pickle. The coach, who I always suspected didn't like my ass, turns and says, there you go, right there. As if the dog knew English, he starts running after me. Son of a bitch. I run off. Now he's closing in. All right. Now we got to go now I'm jumping on the car. Now you might think, hey, Garry, what were some vehicles that could have been really, really good at that time? Maybe a big SUV, maybe a pickup truck, right? No. You know what I hopped on? A freaking like Geo Metro. So if we've never had the delight of meeting each other, I am 6'8". I was still like 6'4" during that time. So I hop on this little compact ass car. It looks like a ladybug getting humped by a daddy long leg spider. Now the dog is terrorizing me. He's barking at me. I'm not getting down. The neighbor who owns the car, like, get out my car. I think the fuck not, right? I'm not getting down. Now, thankfully, across the street, a group of kids, young silver cap wearing kids, are looking at this dog. They're on the other side of a gate. They're now heckling this dog. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Bite their asses. Yes. They're heckling him. They are looking to moon this dog. They moon his ass. The dog goes over there, running over there. I'm like, yeah, tear them a new one. I stealthily, and I use the word very freaking loosely, stealthily try to slide down his freaking compact car. And then, as if the dog had some goddamn spidey sense, had, hold up, wait a minute, ran back over to me. I'm back up there again. The daddy long legs is back on this ladybug again. He's now going back, forth, and forth. Like he's a Leah between me and the goddamn kids. Then a police officer is cruising the neighborhood. Thank you, if you're a police officer. I say, there's a dog right there. Take the dog out. And I swear to you, as if this dog had warrants, this freaking dog sees the cops and starts running his ass off. He runs away. Now, here I am, sliding down the car, dusting myself off, picking up my book bag, and now I'm heading to go catch the bus home. I'm sitting there, out of goddamn breath, adrenaline running out, and I get on the bus, and lo and behold, who do I fucking see? Homeboy from earlier. If it was me now, I would have socked his ass, but I just sat down and was like, just shook my head, and that was it. All right, that's the end of that show. That's the end of that. I'm pretty sure most of you guys are probably laughing about this. And if you rewind it and listen to the song and listen to this whole scenario again, thanks, I guess. All right. But yeah, I thought about that when I saw that girl running off from that TikTok. That was crazy. So, hopefully she didn't get a bit nothing like that. All right. So that was my, I got a story to tell. If you guys like that, let me know. I'll post some more. I have a couple of them, and then we'll go from there. All right. So let's get to our appetizer today. So our appetizer is going to be focusing on that credit. So make sure you have a pen and piece of paper. And so right after another brief word from our sponsor, we'll get right to it.
Having a wedding, birthday party, or other social or corporate event, contact Greenlight Entertainment today. With our experienced DJs, quality sound, and professional service, we look to make your event the event. Check us out on the web at www.greenlightentertain.com. With Greenlight Entertainment, you have the green light.
And also, guys, you know what? I want to just share a little, a very impromptu moment. Before I started recording this episode, I was scrolling and I saw where, they talked about different people and in their moment. Phil Knight, the owner, founder of Nike, was an accountant prior to becoming the owner of Nike. And he worked his job, and then he worked on the shoes until they became popular, until it became what we know as Nike today. Howard Schultz, if you've been watching these episodes, you already know I already did an episode on Howard Schultz entitled That 264, where he was turned down so many times, and then one object came along. He worked another job, and then he worked on coffee and coffee shop idea, his waking moments. All right. There were different examples of people that wrote books, that were directors, like Quentin Tarantino. He was a clerk, and then he was writing up one of his movies, and now he wrote Reservoir Dogs, and now look where he is today. And I wanted to say, even as I sit here and I'm sitting in my basement and I have the mic and I have my phone and I have you guys, too often we're stuck in the moment of the now. Would I like to have a studio? I mean, this is a studio. Would I like to have a studio where someone is, they're taking care of the mic, or, they're counting me down and all these wonderful things? Absolutely. And I'm going to get there, right? I just have to be consistent. I have to be focused, and I have to be dedicated, and understand that we just have to, and this is for whoever this is, just hang in there, keep working, hang in there. And we don't get told that, hey, you're going to be doing this for a while. I start thinking about other people. Kevin Hart had been doing comedy for years before he became Kevin Hart. The Rock. He named his label 1997, his production company, in 1995 or 1997, because in that time he knew that he was broke as hell. And he said he only had like a couple bucks in his pocket. And now look where he is. And so if you have a business, if you're working on something, if you haven't started working on something and the algorithm brought this amazing podcast episode to you, I want you to just understand that, hey, it's going to be a time where you're like, you know what? I look forward. I'm working on it. And then one day, you know what'll happen? Somebody will be doing all this. I'll just walk in. It won't be my house. It won't be a studio. It'll be maybe in front of a live studio audience, because I claim it and I know that it's there. So hopefully that did something to you. Hopefully that helped, right? Because being an entrepreneur takes a lot of work, and a lot of times it's on your back. You're doing it yourself. So stay encouraged, keep going, stay the course. And no one tells us the in-between part. All right. So let's get to our appetizer of the show. And this is just in full transparency. I'm always looking to be better mentally, spiritually, financially, physically. So that's why if you go back and look at the two-part series, Vulnerable, it wasn't just for you, it's for me too. How can we increase ourselves in those things? And just in listening to one of the books that I've recommended, which is I Will Teach You to Be Rich, I went back and thought about how I'm going to use it. How can I maximize my credit cards, right? I want my credit cards to have like a $10,000 limit, $20,000, $100,000, give me that Amex. Yeah. So, how can we increase our credit, especially those credit cards? I'm going to run down some of them, and you let me know if we have any more that we should talk about. Number one, pay all existing accounts on time. All right. If you got to set it up, automatically set it up. If you can only pay the minimum balance, pay the minimum balance, but don't let it go past that day. Okay. They have too many alarms, notifications to let you know, hey, this is available, hey, this is due. So just make sure you just take advantage. Lower your utilization. Now, you might get a credit card. You be like, oh, it's on and popping. It's $800, $900, $1,000, even $500. Make sure you lower your utilization. You're not maxing out the cards. And I'm pretty sure you guys have heard this before. So lower your utilization. We should be using no more than, honestly, I think that the numbers are like 15, 10%, right? Don't use any more than 30%. So if you have a card that's, $10,000, then there you go, right? Because that's the name of the game to get to those. Because once you keep, you're not maxing it out, you're using only a little bit, they'll give you more money. I promise you right now, I have a card that I didn't even ask for. They said, hey, we're getting you a new card because you've been so great. Great. All right. So lower that utilization. Don't open too many credit cards at once. I mean, of course, you'll take a hit on your credit score for that, right? And that doesn't look good credit-wise. So while you should not open too many credit cards, the last one may be a little bit of a contradiction, but it's not. You'll see where I'm going at with that. So don't open too many credit cards. Keep older lines of credit open. So whichever is your oldest credit card, don't close it out. Keep it open. That's showing a great history of your credit. Diversify your credit. So even when I talked about, and this is going back to the don't open up too many credit cards. While you shouldn't open up too many credit cards, they should be different ones. So maybe it's one for, let's say you're a student. Let's say that you're a student. You have one for that. Just try to diversify your credit card. So there's different ones, not just the same thing. All right. And the last one is Check your credit report for errors, for mistakes. Things happen. And so just make sure you just check. It might be in your favor. It might be something opened in your name or closed in your name or an account is wrong. Just check it out and just see what happens. Okay. All right. That is your appetizer credit. Okay. So now let's get to our entree of the evening. Again, thank you guys so much. Episode 149, turning your ideas into a paycheck. Now, how did I come across this show? What's the premise? So we already talked about, hey, what we're going to do. And so I have a lot of ideas. My friends, family, everybody I know, we have all these amazing ideas. And so now it's time to actually turn them into money, turn them into income, whether it's passive or aggressive. I guess the opposite of passive would be aggressive. But let's turn our thoughts into actual money. Okay. So I came up with 5 ways, 5 steps. And if you just said to eternity, when I said 5 steps, you're my people. Thank you. All right. So let's talk about these 5 steps and how we can turn our ideas into paychecks. All right. So number 1, identify marketable ideas. And I always tell people, just think about, does your idea solve a problem? What problem did Airbnb solve? Right? Don't all speak up at once. What problem did Uber and Lyft solve? Right? What problem did DoorDash solve? What problem did Instacart or Shipped? Any one of these places, what problem did they solve? Right? So now you got to think to yourself, what problem am I solving with my thoughts, with my idea? Brainstorm, right? So brainstorm your idea. Don't just rule out a bad thought. Write it down, write them all out, because that bad thought might trigger a better thought. Okay? And research. The world is your oyster, baby. You can literally research people that have already, if your thought is not super original and people have done it, you can research for days and days and days and get as much information for free as you need. Okay. So number 1 is going to be identify marketable ideas. Number 2 is going to be, let's validate those ideas. And how can we validate those ideas? By doing market research and testing your ideas. Test your idea out. How would it work? Do your research. Even if let's say you have a product, give it to somebody. Ask them to give you feedback. See how it works. Do your market research. Test your ideas. Guess what? And you can even test them on social media. Right now, I'm looking at, I DJ. So there is a site that helps you really maximize your crates, right? So I said, you know what? That solves a problem of DJs just looking and they're trying to fix the next song. Now, me, I like to prep and plan, right? A week or two before the event. I'm going to put together your playlist for your music, but why not? That solved the problem for someone that may not want to be as meticulous as far as a DJ putting their crate together. Crate is just where we have our place of music. So do your market research, use social media to test out your idea. Okay. Number 3, it's popping. You're getting great feedback. Develop a business plan. What is a business plan, Gary? For most of I know most of you guys already know, but a business plan is a simple plan that spells out your business. Who are you targeting? And before your ass says everybody, no, you're not. You're not targeting everyone. Okay. Who are you targeting? A detailed business plan lays out exactly what you're trying to do, who you're targeting, and what you're trying to do. Okay. Exactly what you're trying to do, who you're targeting, what are the things that you may need. Those are just simple questions that are asked in the business plan. You can always look up sample business plans everywhere you go. All right. But get a business plan. Okay. Don't just tell somebody, oh, it's up here. No, we're not doing that. No, we're not going to do that. Because if it's up here, it stays up here. All right. And, I'll start it some way. No, you're not. No, you're not. If you keep it up here and it never makes its way from the attic down to the basement, out onto paper, it's never going to happen. No, you're not. No, you're not. Number 4, launch. If you've come up with this idea, you come up with this thought that can make you money, this product, this good, this services, whatever it is, you put it all together. Don't just sit there and pillow talk with your boo about the ideas and dreams you have. Launch the motherfucker. Launch it. Okay? And when you're launching it, drop your product to your target audience. Use social media strategies, right? As well as use online advertising. Now, you see, I said social media strategies as well as online advertising. Let me be transparent. I'm always transparent on my show. So one of the things that when I reviewed my business, now I will say this, as an entrepreneur, always have a business meeting with yourself. Now, if you have employees, you can have business meeting, but you yourself, if you start a business at just one-on-one, have a business meeting. And I said, I really wanted to, DJ wise, I wanted to increase, I wanted to decide, do I want to hire people to rent sound from, and meaning that I just show up and they already set the sound up for the DJing event, or do I want to buy lighter weight DJing equipment? There's pros and cons for both. And I said, you know what? What's my issue with buying it? I'm not doing a lot of gigs right now to generate the money that I'm not having to use other resources to pay for it. And I said, well, how can I increase that? You know how I can increase it? By simply promoting more. So you know what I did? And if you're watching this and you're the first person that follows me on my DJ page, I got something for you. But what I did was I said, you know what? How can I increase, visual, right? I said, I'm going to make a DJ page. I haven't even used a DJ name in a long time. I haven't even used a DJ name. It used to be DJ G1, right? And I'm still toggling back and forth on the name. But I made a page, and what I'm going to be doing is doing mixes and uploading stuff like that. So that way, more people are checking it out. I'm going to go on TikTok, promote, DJ, maybe do a set or two on a Friday. Go from there. That increases visual people looking at me, and increases the amount of eyes on me. And guess what? More people looking at me. Now, guess what? More people equal more opportunities for me to make money. Okay? Just did an amazing 80s, 90s party. That was fun. All right. So launch your product to your target audience. All right. Use social media strategies. And there's plenty of social media strategies. As a matter of fact, right now, if you're signed up to my newsletter, after this episode drops, I always send it out. So make sure that by the time you watch this, go back, click on the link to sign up for the newsletter. And I'm going to send you a social media guide that will allow you a calendar month of posting content, right? Now, posting content isn't just billboarding. And I call it billboarding, and that means you're simply posting a flyer. You're not saying shit. You're not moving anything. You're not giving us a call to action. You just posting a flyer may get some eyes on it, but we got to be engaging. So use social media strategies, and guess what? Pay for online advertising if you can, okay? So number one, as we bring this on home and this episode home, hopefully this episode was impactful and valuable to you. Number one is identify marketable ideas. Number two is validate those ideas. Are they good? Is this a good idea? Okay. Number three is develop a business plan, a detailed business plan. It doesn't have to be a huge book, but you should be able to label out the who, what, where, why, and when. You shouldn't come to me to get consulting. I say, okay, well, tell me about your business idea. And you're like, well, it's something like this. Is it this or something like this? I don't know what something like this means. Number four, launch it. Drop the product on people's heads. Okay? Drop it to your target audience. Use those social media strategies, those and pay for advertising. And the last thing is that after you dropped it, guess what? Go back and review. Evaluate. Review. Did this work out? Do I need to make changes? How can I adapt? Okay? Does it work? What went well? What didn't go well? What can I change differently? Okay? All right, that is the end of this show. Thank you guys for checking out the show. If this was impactful, this was valuable, you know a couple of people who have amazing ideas and ain't making it happen, guess what, guys? This is your sign. If somebody sent you this, this is your sign to stop thinking about it, stop overthinking, and you're underdoing it now. It's time to make it happen because you owe the person who sent this to you 10% of your first product, you know? Maybe give them some stock options, okay? All right, so please share, like, share, subscribe as always on the show. You got each show's coming out each and every week, hot, fresh, ready to go. Check out the newsletter where I drop a little bit more information. And so it's totally free. Just download it. And I also offer some tips, also give away things from there. So I look forward to seeing that number grow. So thank you for my new newsletter followers. All right. It's called Something to Offer. So just click on the link in the comment section. You'll be taken right to it. And as always, as we wrap up this episode, thank you for your constant support. Wherever you are, whenever you are the most important part of the show. I know I'm here. I know the information is great. I'm here, but you make this go. All right. So until we see each other again, because we'll see each other again, right? Until we share those special moments, like when you first launch your product and you tag me and say, hey, Gary, I just dropped it. Yes, I want to be one of the first ones to buy it. Okay. And until we talk about it, right? We're going to talk about you dropping your product. And then when we share those special moments again, always remember, guys, see what you want to do in this world. Envision it. All of the people that are big wig people, the billionaires, the millionaires, they had an idea. Just like you. There's no difference in their thoughts versus your thoughts. No difference. All right. See what you want to do. Envision it. Plan it out. Detailed business plan. Put it together. Make it make sense. And then guess what? Just do it. Just launch it. All right. What's the worst thing can happen? You get one sale. What's the best thing can happen? More than one sale. All right. Your life coach loves you, man. Hey, let me know about the products, good services you have. All right. So until next time, same life coaching time, same life coaching channel. Stay encouraged and see ya.